Welcome back to Western Medicine, Talk 1260 KTRC. I'm Dr. Daniel Ronel, plastic surgeon, and we're talking about the realities behind plastic surgery. And now we have a very special guest, Dr. Scott Thomas, a psychotherapist. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Daniel. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Can you tell me what you're all about?
Well, I've had a psychotherapy practice in Santa Fe for about 23 years now, and recently I've been working with you and your office over at Whole Being, and trying to sort of integrate some of the processes in terms of, and people having an internal focus on their healing as well as an external, and balancing those two things together, and using psychotherapy in order to help people to look at concepts surrounding their humanness, surrounding feelings successful in their lives, happy, fulfilled. These are all things that human beings desire and have always wanted. And a lot of times these days, I think people are moving so fast, and the culture we're in pushes people. It pushes people so quickly that it's very easy to get out of balance and forget about that inner self and the things we need to do on a daily basis to really take care of our inner selves. And a lot of the problems that I see that people come to me with every week are things that sort of stem from not being able to take the time out of their lives to really develop their internal image, their internal sense of who they are, the value of who they are, their being, their identity, and the meaningfulness of their existence here. You know, we're all put here for a very special reason, but most of us are very busy with going to work, paying the bills, staying on top of things with our families and loved ones. And a lot of times the thing that sort of falls out that we don't get a chance to really explore, take time out for, and sit with is one of the most valuable things there is, and that's being able to assign meaningfulness to our daily existence and the things that we're supposed to be doing here.
Right. You have a very special background. How did that play a role in what you're saying?
My background, that's a very good question, because my background and growing up between sort of a traditional native culture, a Lakota culture. In the summers, I was with my grandparents very often on the Cheyenne River Reservation up in South Dakota. And then during the school year, I was with my dad down in Miami Beach, Florida. And so I was going back and forth in between these two worlds. And being young, you know, it was very confusing for me a lot of times. And it wasn't until I was much older and started to understand psychology, started to understand the needs of human beings beyond just food, clean water, good air, sunlight, that we also had spiritual needs, we also had needs for healing when things upset us or threw us emotionally or otherwise out of balance. And when I was back home with my grandparents on the reservation, there were a lot of ceremonies, and the ceremonies helped people to feel whole, to feel safe again when things upset them. They helped them to feel there was this meaningfulness to their being here, that they were not only related to each other, which made us feel safe, but that we were related to everything on the earth around us, that we were related to that ceremony, that we were related to stones or a river or trees, the sky. And things like that, when you realize that you're connected to all these things, it's it builds up, in psychology they would say it builds up your inner core, your ego strength, because you're not alone anymore. One of the biggest fears for people is being alone. I've worked over the years with a lot of people who felt disconnected from not only their spiritual side and sometimes their family, but also they felt disconnected from the earth, from being able to, you know, one of the things I do at my practice sometimes, because I see a lot of people, and I see them back to back, and it's intense, there's an intensity to it. And one of the very simple things that I do is I'll step outside my door, and I take a deep breath, and I look up at the sky, the sun, clouds, I'll look at the green on the trees or the snow on the ground, whatever's there, and as I breathe in, I'll say, this is what I was really put here to do. To be part of this and to love it and be happy. And you can't help but really feel that on a very deep level in your body when you say something like that, because truth has great power. And that's one of the great truths, is that that's one of the things we were put here to do, is to be able to just recognize that we're not alone, we're part of all these things.
That's what I love about having you as part of the team, because you don't psychoanalyze the patients and make sure that they're, you know, not crazy. That's not the point. The point is that you help them get into balance before and sometimes after the surgery, and having the correct mental balance translates into the correct physical balance, which, you know, helps them through the process. And I really appreciate that, how you do that. Can you think of something in particular that some patient that you've been involved with where that has worked?
You know, I would have to say with the patients that I have worked with, to me they're all incredible success stories, because over the years I feel like everybody I have worked with, there's this exchange of energies. I feel like I've been very fortunate and gifted to have touched their lives. And I also feel that they've touched and impacted my life in a very positive way, certainly allowing me to be of service to the earth and the planet through working with these people and being able to create that relationship of healing between us. But also, too, it brings me great joy to see people becoming more and more sure of themselves, more and more sure of that they're here for a real purpose.
Scott, I wish I didn't have to interrupt you, but we're running out of time. I could listen to you for hours. Will you come back for another show, please?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Thank you. You're listening to Talk 1260 KTRC Western Medicine. We just had a great segment with Dr. Scott Thomas. You can reach him at 982-2440.
Well, that was a great show. Really great. We'll see you next week. Thanks.